Hello and good evening. It's the 7th of March 2023 and it's a Tuesday. And you probably already knew that if you're a regular listener to Joy FM 99.7 megahertz, that on Tuesdays when you hear my voice, I'm here to talk tech. And I remember last week I did say the show should have been hosted by a woman since tomorrow's International Women's Day. My producer, why did you let me host the show? Is it because I have twists and Winston has braids and Michael was born of a woman? So yeah, well,
that would insinuate we weren't born of women.
That's the only thing he has that would make him
Now
qualify.
I've met both of your moms, so I know that's not true, but sometimes look at the two of you, I really do wonder.
But yeah, so in anticipation of International Women's Day, which is tomorrow, we will be having a conversation today which is titled Digital, and we're going to have a conversation with women leaders in tech. So somewhere along the line, I'm going to kick Michael and Winston out of the seats, so we can have that conversation. And I think this year, since this year started, we have actually had a couple of conversations around getting more women in tech, and so this is going to be another one because we do want more representation of women in tech.
I was going to say that last interview did make me feel warm inside because it has been a thing for a while. It's not, and women are, it's weird, women are underrepresented in tech, but they have some of the strongest contributions as well. That's some of the strongest contributions as well. If you look back in history, more than half of the great discoveries that were done in science and tech were done by women. Heck, the first landing on the moon was hand calculated.
I mean, if you haven't seen the movie Hidden Figures, that should tell you a lot.
And I think it was a woman who actually properly figured out how the internet would work. So
we do need more women because the men are busy trying to die. If you watch the kind of videos that we're putting out on social media, men are doing things that are borderline suicidal, deadly. Like, why would you be trying to jump out of a speeding car? All these unnecessary things that you're not a stuntsman, but you're doing. Anyways,
Winston can relate.
No, he can't. He would rather sleep. He would rather Winston.
Yeah.
So with that, let me throw the microphone to Winston to give us what's new in the tech news.
Yeah, it's not a lot going on.
There's not a lot going on.
Surprising.
That is surprising.
But let's go with Slack. If you know, for those who know Slack's new ChatGPT tool will talk to your colleagues for you. Like Microsoft and Google, Slack owner Salesforce is shoving an AI chatbot into its workplace software to automatically write simple messages and summarize meetings. So basically, it's going to take the minutes of the meetings for you, and it can send pre-automated messages to your colleagues.
AI is taking over.
I can't wait. Actually, no, I don't care about that anymore. But I'm sure a lot of office people can't wait till AI takes over meetings entirely, so they don't have to go
to be
there. It's no longer this meeting could have been an email. There's like this meeting could have been an AI.
I mean, it was going to get to a point where this meeting actually is an AI reference. So basically, the AI has just put everything in short notes for you.
Do you even need to attend? It's just like here's the things we need to discuss, and here's what we have. The information we need to use to discuss them. Churn out and give us a result. Boom.
That's it. Everybody sits where they are, and then
I have just saved thousands of cities worth of hours for companies. And fuel. So if you'd like to send that donation to us, Spiky,
that's assuming that people are actually going to execute this on their own.
Or you can come and do it for you.
Exactly.
So t.me/Joy Geek Squad.
Straight.
All right.
Straight.
Shameless
plug.
Next on the news is Michael's favorite company. TikTok introduces paywall content with videos up to 20 minutes long. Creators will be able to put premium content behind paywalls for fans to purchase.
Why does that sound like something that I know?
The other fans.
You just went paywall and fans and already I've seen some very sus content on TikTok. I
would like to look into the terms and conditions of the premium version. And if you are able to suss out what the terms and conditions are, then you will know what this premium content will entail. And if you think about it from a strategy point of view, certain purveyors or supporters or users of the other fans, they advertise on TikTok.
Yeah, they
So
do.
if it's just straight piping into the premium, that wow, interesting choice of words.
I was just about to say, like, very interesting choice
Look,
of
I'll
words.
put money down. Heck, I'll put money down towards opening my own only whatever that
TikTok.
site is.
Only TikTok.
Absolutely
Only talk.
not. Only talk. That, what do you call it? That insinuation will not happen. TikTok won't allow that level.
Well,
They will not
that's
do it.
assuming it's not already happening, because, like I
No,
said,
not. They don't tolerate it. Whenever they see it, they immediately shut it down.
shut it down.
And
Right.
I don't think so, because I've seen quite an interesting thing, and I feel like the caveat of a paywall presupposes that you're of a certain age to
Age,
have
yeah, a credit card.
a credit card, and that means you are making that conscious choice. So when choice comes into the mix, they are not feeding you the content anymore like they typically do. Now you are choosing to pay for this content.
I don't see it
We
working
live to
that way,
see.
but we'll see.
You will see. Next, Michael's other favorite company, Apple, reveals a yellow iPhone 14 and 14 Plus.
Wait, yellow?
Apple is releasing a new yellow colorway for the iPhone 14. Unlike last year, the new color variants won't be available for the Pro models and will only ship with the base iPhone 14 and 14 Plus. My question is, do we care?
So yellow, does it come with Coldplay's soundtrack Yellow as a ringtone?
You know, I think we shouldn't talk about this. Michael, do you care?
T.me/Joy Geek Squad. Get at me and I'll get a spray can and give you the if I'll give you any color you want, not just yellow.
I mean, yeah,
Although
you
I
could just
do-
go to
Although I
D
cannot,
brand,
I cannot guarantee you will get the Coldplay yellow on it as a ringtone.
or you can with 3U tools.
I mean,
Eh,
previously, Apple used to do the red for a reason. There was some blood,
Yeah.
something,
Oh, it had
something.
to do with HIV.
Yeah, something going on.
I
But
forgot.
now,
what's yours supposed to be? Traffic lights.
I really don't know. Yellow, I don't
Well,
know.
they did do green.
If they,
last
if
year.
they said the green one has like 80% components being refurbished or recycled.
No,
that's
it was just a
fantastic.
color.
That makes, yeah, you see, so that's what I'm saying. It's like right now they're just throwing the colors out there without any
They did red.
message.
Red means stop HIV. Then they did green because it's nice. Now they've done yellow.
Because
Get ready to
for-
go for 15
Yeah,
straight.
It is for those who really want to know the reason why. It's just a marketing ploy to keep the phone
The 14
selling.
sales.
Yeah,
selling,
selling.
yeah.
Okay, next, Google has started rolling out its Dock and Drive UI. Pretty interesting. Google has started to roll out an updated UI for Google Drive, Docs, Sheets, and Slides. The apps will work the same way they used to, according to Google. This is to make these products a bit more simplified. You know, it's a bit tedious sometimes. I
In
feel-
Drive.
Yeah, I use it a lot where you have to go open a new tab, click those triangle, square thingies, open it, then go down. But it's a bit tedious. But if you could have it at the top of the toolbar where you can just cycle through, that would be super cool.
Yeah, Google Drive. Besides the name confusing me every time with Android Auto, like that, Google Drive should have been Android Auto.
True,
Yeah.
true.
You know, when you said it, like redesign of Google Drive, I was like,
How
how am I thinking Android Auto?
Oh.
Anyways.
Instagram co-founder have created a new tech news platform that uses AI. Artifact is a news app that uses AI to collect and share tech news around the world in one place. Interesting thing is that our producer has asked me to use this app, so
I was actually going to say, oh, your job is going to be done
yeah.
for
So
you.
next week I will be using the app, and then we can talk about the app next.
You know, another interesting thing on the tangents, well, very related to what you just said, CNET has fired a lot of his writers in favor of AI because they've been testing AI writing articles, and it seems that it was a pretty good job. So editor was now made AI
Wrangler.
story reviewer, something like strategy, AI strategy,
Is this an
something
AI farmer?
position,
At the end of the day,
pretty much, and they just let go a lot of their writers.
at the end of the day, AI can only do what has been taught to do. So if it's been fed a certain slanted or skewed bias,
Well, which
of
is why they
information,
they still need an editor.
the
So writer
editor,
can go,
no, so the
editor
editor
has to
also
be-
has his own biases.
Has to do every writer and editor.
Yeah, but if you have unique people bringing their own unique opinions on things, as
You
opposed
should work
to
in a newsroom and you'd understand that not 10 people work on one story.
no, I mean no, exactly my point. But I mean, if this person brings their own twist to it, and this person brings their own twist to it, at least you know that okay, this is what this nigga thinks. This person.
And on that bombshell,
Oh, one last news article for International Women's Day
Yes.
is FIFA 23 will add all 12 National Women's Soccer League teams on March 15th. Excited. Separately, the company is adding the option to play through the UEFA Women's Champions League in kickoff and tournament mode. So,
You know, women's football would do very well if more women watched it.
on that note,
Rather than watching the Kardashians and
hey, I feel like this is a conversation you can have with your guests.
they're coming in right
Yeah.
after you, so I'm kicking you out, like I
yeah,
said.
so
Yeah, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm replacing my usual suspects with the ladies. Ciao, guys. See
Peace
you
out.
next week.
Bye.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home. Shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is. Where the passion is. Where the laughter is. And sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions.
And send tweets.
Where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
Homes, businesses, communities, whatever the space, wherever the place, Azar is the paint. Azar paints are high quality, long lasting, and always give a great finish that will make your space shine. At Brighton, Azar, still number one.
From the Azar Group.
Geek Squad.
And we're back. So, as I said, since tomorrow is International Women's Day, we are going to start off our week, or your week, my week, our week, and the tech week with a very, very interesting conversation, which is basically in anticipation of tomorrow. So we're having a conversation with women leaders in tech. And I have with me Aishado, who's founder of the Power for Girls Foundation.
Power to Girls Foundation.
Power to Girls. I knew that. I just multiplied it by 2. So I gave you more 2s. Made it 4. But yeah, Power to Girls Foundation. And Deborah Asma, she's a Chief Marketing and Operation Officer from Puntu Technologies. Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
And then we'll be having via Zoom Janat Isifu. She's the founder and CEO of One Hive Ghana. And yeah, so to celebrate International Women's Day this year, we are pleased to hand over our platform for tech and innovation women to talk about themselves, their journeys, and what they think about the lapses and what can be fixed regarding gender equality in tech and innovation. And just like Michael and Winston said, a lot of innovation and discoveries in tech were done by women. But because we do not sing their praise that much, people seem to think, oh, this was done by a guy, this was done by a guy. So yeah, do your research, go on Wikipedia. Matter of fact, just ask ChatGPT. Yeah, how many women are responsible for so many innovations in tech? And you'd be amazed, you'd be surprised. And you will be inspired as a female to get into tech because, what better industry to be in than tech now, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start off. Aisha, you're closest to me. By the way, Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN everywhere you go. The show is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and you can find us on Telegram, t.me/Joy Geek Squad. Tweet at us, #Joy Geek Squad. And if you missed the show, it's available on my Joy Online app and Adam Online app. Basically, just Google #Joy Geek Squad. You'll find us. Every single episode is out there for you to listen. So Aisha,
Yes.
Power to Girls Foundation, tell us about you and your foundation, what you do.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you so much for allowing me to join the Geek Squad. I'm really excited to be here. So, Power to Girls Foundation is an organization that works specifically with girls. We provide programs in personal development, mental health, mentorship, entrepreneurship, and STEM programming. Subsequently, we also have a platform that allows for girls to connect with mentors in a bit of a safer online space. So we kind of like took social media and created something that's specifically for girls so they can learn new skills, they can access helpline for mental health support, and then they can also connect with mentors from around the world. So that's a little bit about me and my work.
Great. Deborah, you're not new to Geek Squad,
I'm not.
but yeah, you're new to some of the listeners. So
Yeah.
a bit about yourself and what you do.
So I'm an Ubuntu technologist, like you mentioned. It's a tech company. We are focused on helping companies digitalize. So we offer services like AI. We also do custom software deployment, and currently we are focused on pushing out our enterprise resource planning to just help companies. I like what
Aisha's
Aisha was
doing.
saying. It would be nice to look at some of the ladies on the platform, but we work with a lot of blue chip companies, and it's been exciting for me. I'm focused really on the privacy end, and I'm also looking at what I really look at is transferring the customer request, breaking it down to the programmers and the people in the tech space, if you should put it that way, and translating it into what the customer is looking out for. So that's what my focus is in the company.
Great. So we also have Janat joining us on Zoom because she's not in Accra, and thanks to technology. Yes. See, anytime you guys use Zoom or anything tech related, we have to thank all the geeks. Hi, Janat.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So tell us about what you do and who you are first of all, and what you do in the tech space.
All right, thank you so much for the opportunity to add my voice to this very important conversation today. My name is Janat Isifu, and I'm the founder for One Hive Ghana, and also the director for gender and equity at the Ghana Hubs Network. So talking about One Hive Ghana is an innovation space that is focused or dedicated to building the capacity of women through technology and entrepreneurship development. Yeah, so since our establishment, the hub has been focused on creating easy accessibility for women in the digital and innovation space through the programs that we run. I'm hoping that we'll continuously help to establish startups that are creating solutions to the numerous societal challenges that we face every now and then. We've been able to achieve quite a number of things since our journey in the technology space through partnerships from both local and international organizations. So we are happy to be here, and we are hoping that we'll be able to contribute to this discussion very well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Since you're here, I'm still going to stick with you and ask you my next question. What's the best thing about being a woman in tech?
All right, thank you. For me, I would say the best thing is the journey in its entirety. The technology journey is the best thing that has happened to me. Being able to survive and excel in a space that is world known as a male-dominated space is, something that is so special. As we all know, the future is female and the future is technology. And so being able to actively engage and excel in the space is beautiful. And being able to create that space, that safe space, that's easy accessibility for women to freely move into the space, to learn, to acquire skills, to acquire digital skills, technology development skills in your space is so beautiful. So the journey is great. I am happy that through our works, we are inspiring young women and girls in the communities, because One Hive Ghana, our works are based in the rural communities, because we want to bring technology and digital skills to the people in the rural community. Due to inadequate accessibility down here and also the limited resources in terms of digital tools, we thought it was important that we get closer to the people in the community. So whenever we train them, their willingness, their interest that is driven by our training programs, our capacity development training programs, is something that we are always excited about. So the journey in its entirety is the best thing that has happened to me as a woman in tech.
Great, great. Aisha, that sounds like something along your lines.
Yeah, no, I think that's actually quite impressive, and I'm actually very much interested in like the work that she does as well. I think for me personally, it's the ability to use technology to solve problems, like literally everyday problems. I consider myself like a social entrepreneur, and I put that in quotations because I always use tech or see tech as a way of solving the issues that are very dear to my heart, so to speak. So my work is really focused on women and girls, and kind of like she shared, there's so much opportunities, especially for like younger girls to see themselves represented in this sector and in this field, but then also the possibility, like the things that they can do with technology. Like I think it's actually is so amazing, and I get excited when talking about it, because I feel like when we were growing up, we were not necessarily pushed into science courses, we were not necessarily pushed into technology courses. Like it was just something that was always kind of like seen as the boys' field. So now we are in an era where women have an opportunity, and not just women but girls have the opportunity to create the technology that they want to see. So earlier on, you guys were even talking about AI, and every time we have conversations around AI, I think it's really important for people to recognize that it is actually human beings that are putting in the language, that are saying all the things that it should basically regurgitate. Yes, that word. Thank you. So I think it's so important that girls are in those spaces. People of color are in those spaces. Black people, African people are in those spaces, because I find that when you ask ChatGPT questions about Africa, the answers that you get are actually not very accurate. So yeah, there's a real opportunity there. So that's really and truly for me why I'm excited to be in tech, and why I'm excited to be in tech in this particular space and time.
Right. Cool. Deborah?
I mean, the journey, like Janet said, the experience, like Aisha has said, if I need to add my personal touch, for me, I enjoy the shock in people's faces when you're having a conversation and you communicate clearly what you're talking about. You interrogate the logic that you put in place when it comes to technology. You disabuse their minds of some of the biases and stuff, and they look at you and they're wondering, oh, did you do engineering? When did you get into tech? Oh, I know you did English in school. Like, I enjoy the shock on their faces, but then that is just on the personal side for the fun of it. But then being a woman in tech, there are a lot of opportunities. Even if you look at it from the funding point of view, there are a lot of spaces that have been created for us to occupy and to speak out and to also make our voices heard. And you're able to contribute positively to the whole conversation, to remove biases. Like you were saying about Africa not being portrayed clearly when you look at this AI chats and stuff. But even when you look at solutions that are being deployed for the use of the ordinary person, you need to represent the woman's voice in it. You need to be able to speak to how we think, what are the things that are peculiar to us, what are the areas you need to look at, even when it comes to privacy, etc. So being in the space helps us kind of shape the innovation as well and contribute well to the discuss.
Great. I like what all of you have said, and it's about time a lot of people realize that these conversations are had year on year, and I find it very exhausting. That's every problem has some sort of symposium, some sort of conference every year. Somebody's having a conference on something. I'm sure International Women's Day tomorrow, you're going to hear a lot of speeches, a lot of talks, everybody talking about how we need to increase the representation of women and girls in certain sectors and all that. But are we seeing the effects? Is it having is it impacting these sectors? Aisha, you work with girls. Are you seeing an increase in interest? Are you seeing an increase in participation year on year after every speech or every conference you go to? Does it have an effect?
Yeah. Honestly, like, I'm with you on, like, being tired of the conferences and the symposiums. I'm right there with you. I think there's something that a lot of us don't talk about when it comes to actually this whole notion, not notion, but this idea of representation in the tech space. And that's mentorship. I see a lot of women that are to be quite honest with you, there are also a lot of women in the tech space. But the reality is that we don't see them. And the reason why we don't see them, of course, aside from, maybe their busy schedules and stuff like that, but in working with young girls, one of the things that I've seen that has been very, very monumental in shaping up their entire worldview is if they see themselves represented. Because if you take, like, let's say a group of girls from a particular neighborhood and you ask them, what do they aspire to be? What do they want to be in the future? None of them will tell you that I aspire to be an engineer. None of them will tell you that I aspire to be a doctor. None of them will tell you I aspire to be a businesswoman, right? But you would hear them say, I aspire to be a market woman. I aspire to be a journalist. I aspire to be this. It's because that is what is pushed to them every single day. And it's not because they're not capable of becoming an engineer or a doctor or whatever, all the different spaces that they can get into, but it's because they don't interact with people like that. If you ask them, they say, I want to be a journalist. And you say, okay, well, which journalist do you know? They'll mention someone that they've seen on TV.
True.
Do you understand? But if you ask them, is there someone that you know that you can actually go to and ask questions about their industry, about what they actually do every single day? No. If they say, I want to be a market woman, and I've had girls say that, is there someone that you can talk to? Yes. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with someone aspiring to be a market woman. Market women, by the way, are very rich. Don't get it twisted. But I feel like because of the opportunities that are exposed to them, that is exactly what they would aspire to be. So when we have these conversations, we don't necessarily talk about the sustainability of it. We don't talk about what happens next. We talk about representation, and because the truth of the matter is we are not going to be the ones that are creating the technologies of tomorrow. It is the ones that are coming after us. So if we're not necessarily creating opportunities that allows for them to get the skills, get the training, and also looking at the skills and training beyond the African context, but then on an international level, and making them equipped to compete internationally, then we are really doing a disservice. Because we can sit here and talk about women in tech all day, every day. But the reality is the next technology that is going to take the world by storm hasn't been created yet. And that is in the hands of the future generation. And I think we're doing them a disservice when we're not necessarily coming back and really having those honest conversations with them.
Janat, I'm coming to you because your organization focuses on rural areas. And I want to know, is the narrative the same there?
Oh, thank you. I think the conversations, the speeches and talks, a lot have been done. And from where I sit, I think there's been a lot of influence. There's been a mindset change. There's been an understanding of what gender equality really stands for. Because going where the days where in even our country like this, you will get parents purposely or intentionally giving educational opportunities to men and leaving women behind. But we've passed that now. We've been able to progress and to people, the community, the society understanding that yes, women have the potential and therefore they should be given the opportunity. At this point, I think the talks have done a lot, the speeches have done a lot, but can we move the talks into action? We need more of action now. And Aisha talked about mentorship, and mentorship, sustainable mentorship is one of the key things that we need in the technological space if we want to get more women and girls in the space, because women and girls need to get inspiration from people. They need to get inspired by the works that are being done by other women who have excelled in the space. They need to get people that they are going to learn from, to be able to rely on them that since they were able to excel in the space, then there is the possibility for them to also do it. One of the things that I think going into action we should look at is accessibility. How accessible are training opportunities, educational opportunities in tech, easy for the people or for the women, most especially those in the rural communities, because with them they have limited access to resources. And as we are moving, as we are creating an equal world for everybody, there is the need to also look at ways that we are going to get them to access these opportunities, the training opportunities. How are they affordable for women to be able to participate in the training opportunities that are being run? How accessible? Can they easily access it? The spaces that we are creating, is it safe for women? Do we have policies that protect women from sexual harassment and other forms of harassment when they enter into a male-dominated spaces? So I think the talks are good, but we need to move more into actions. Can organizations and companies be intentional about gender equality, whereby in their recruitment policies they have maybe a law or something that gives a quota representation to women? So if you look at a company like Newmont, for example, if you're a woman in STEM or a woman who is well versed in science and technology and you are applying for a position, that you are likely to be picked over a man. Not that we are undermining men or we are discouraging them, but we want to also give opportunities to women in the space to excel. So how are organizations and companies being intentional about the gender equality fight? Because it is something that everybody has to be intentional at the workplace, in the household, wherever that we find ourselves. If we are able to put actions in place, if innovation spaces are able to create safe spaces for women, then I think in the years to come we wouldn't need much of the conversations or the discussions or the speeches, but the actions will do the real work. Yeah.
Thank you. So, Deborah, you are in the working space with the companies and everything. Do you see that intentional effort by some of these companies to focus more on women or females rather than males?
I mean, when we started in Punta, I was the only female in the office, so I can even look at it close to home. Now it's more than 300 times what we started off with. So now we have a lot of women in the office. I think that.
So you're the trailblazer.
I mean, I think that as part of the speeches and all the talk about women in tech, we need to give a little bit of a twist to the narrative. Sometimes people think that to be a woman in tech, you need to be an engineer, and I should have gone to school to study science, and I should code, and I should do all the other bits that we talk about when we talk about technology. But it's not always the case. I mean, if I want to be a quality assurance person in the tech industry, I don't need to go to school to do science. What I need to I honestly believe that women will be better at a quality assurance position than men would be, because we are petty, we are meticulous, and
attention to detail.
Exactly, we want to get the thing done, and all the things that make us unique. These are the qualities that make us also suited for the role. And there are other roles as well. I'm doing privacy, and I didn't do coding. I don't need to do coding to be in the technology space and to talk privacy when it comes to these innovations. So I think that as part of the discussion that is going out there, we need to present to the other females out there that, look, you don't need to be an engineer. Wherever you started off with, so far as you love technology, which most people do. I mean, my 8-year-old girl codes games, and I didn't need to sit her down to talk about technology. She's privileged to grow up in a generation where the tools are always available, right? So she's picked up the interest, and you just let her go. So you can, I think we should just add to the discussion that being a woman in tech doesn't necessarily have to be the one sitting behind the machine and writing out the codes.
I like that. I like that. That's because, a lot of times when we've had these conversations, it's always been about STEM, and, the science, technology, engineering, and the math. And we know a lot of girls are scared. A lot of people, let me not just say girls, guys, girls, they're all scared of math. So that's what pushes a lot of people out of, tech. I didn't do science or any engineering related course, but I'm in tech, like 360. So I agree that it's not always about, being a coder or being an engineer.
And we should encourage the arts in them as well.
Absolutely.
We should encourage it. For example, with my girl, she likes everything arts. She's painting, she's doing gymnastics. Talk about anything art, she's on top of it. But when it comes to sitting there and writing a game, she would write it as well, because you don't have to let them feel like you have to choose.
Yeah.
You need to do science to be in technology. You need to read or be good at math to be in technology. Granted, they are good foundation, but it doesn't have to be like that these days.
Yeah, I mean, if you studied English, you do well writing manuals and going through people's UX and correcting typos, because like you said, women are very pedantic. So some woman is just going to be looking and say, hey, that you spelled that word wrong. A lot of guys will be like, fun as
But I think it's also quite interesting is that kind of like going back to what I was saying is that a lot of people don't know that, right? We don't have those conversations. We don't have people that are in, like, let's say, quality assurance.
The conversations are too skewed towards one direction.
Exactly, right? So I think once we're able to let folks understand that, like, technology is very multifaceted. Like, the fact that, like, you're a product manager doesn't mean that you're not in the tech space, because product managers and project managers,
And on that, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll still be talking about, women leaders in tech and how to get, we need more representation. Abiku, stop looking at me like that. Take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Isn't life wonderful when everything worth doing is scheduled? Hitting the stop button on your alarm just in time for your morning jog. That's happy moments listening to your baby's heartbeats at the doctor's office. Or an arranged virtual meeting with that big client.
Buy airtime ahead of time with scheduled airtime service on MTN Momo. You can schedule your airtime purchase of any amount daily, weekly, or monthly by dialing *170# option 3 and follow the process. Or simply dial *170*311# for a superb airtime purchase experience. You enjoy 100% bonus airtime anytime you recharge yourself with MTN Momo. Keep on talking with that 100% feeling. So, what are we doing today?
MTN.
Homes, businesses, communities, whatever the space, wherever the place, Azar is the paint. Azar paints are high quality, long lasting, and always give a great finish that will make your space shine. At Brighton, Azar, still number one.
From the Azar Group.
And we're back. So tomorrow's International Women's Day. If you didn't know, all the women in your house tomorrow, do something nice for them. When you wake up, don't wake up before them. All the men, I'm talking to you. Wake up before them, clean up, prepare breakfast for them, lunch and dinner. Do everything that
Don't
they
just
would
do it on International Women's Day.
Yeah, no, so that's what I was coming to say. That, and then after that, make it a point to continue for the rest of your life. And trust me, you'll be happy. You'll be very, very happy. And with that, I'm going to, shirk some of my responsibility to the ladies in the studio. Number one is the jargon of the week. I'm letting Deborah handle. So, Deborah, what's the jargon of the week?
Okay, so the jargon is CAPTCHA.
CAPTCHA. Oh.
CAPTCHA. CAPTCHA.
I was thinking capture, like screen capture.
No, I think I know that one.
Yes.
Of course.
So CAPTCHA is an acronym for Completely Automated Public Turing Test to tell computers and humans apart.
It does do a good job.
So it was actually an acronym.
I know,
Yes.
I didn't know.
I didn't know it was an acronym either. I just knew it as CAPTCHA. But it is Completely Automated Public Turing Test to tell computers and humans apart.
Okay.
But what is the aim of a CAPTCHA?
You tell
You
us.
want to try? CAPTCHAs are used to verify that a human is entering data into the form and not a robot. Text in the images that make up a CAPTCHA are usually distorted, wavy, or maybe highly irregular, making it nearly impossible for an automated program or a robot or bot to recognize it. CAPTCHA.
Fun fact about that, actually. So I saw a video where a lady was talking about this whole capture thing as actually a way for them to see your bloody. So like it's actually used to record your computer habits.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was actually a lady that developed that, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
so see,
Yeah.
on international.
I don't remember her name, but yeah.
Look how big was so taken, sitting there like, oh.
Yeah. So that was a good one. That was a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah. So that's a shout out to my producer Prince Afo. He's always plugged in, always on point. Yeah. This year, there we have to do something for you. We have to show you some love. You know what I mean? So yes, I was going to ask for people to send messages, but today being football day, we're going to be taking off in a few minutes. So there's commentary. Do you guys like football?
No.
Do you?
I only do when Black Stars is playing, but they're a very toxic team, so not really.
Janat, if you're still with us, do you like football?
Yes, I do. Not a lot, but I think I do.
We support our men in it. Basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like football, so yeah, we like cars. On the other hand, so ladies, thank you very much for joining us. This has been a very insightful conversation, and I wish we could have more of it. We should have a Geek Squad extra, where all the extra time can go. So if you didn't catch the whole discussion, you can follow us on t.me/Joy Geek Squad. It's a home for all the geeks. There's about 800 members in that group. You can come there if you have tech problems, if you have questions, if you'd like to learn something, come there. You get updated every day. You get to talk to other people in tech, male, female, every gender is there. And if you missed the show or any of our shows, it's also available, as I said in the beginning, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, my Joy Online app, Adam Online app. Just Google #Joy Geek Squad. And thank you, Janat. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Aisha. Any final words? So starting from you, Aisha, then Deborah, then Janat.
Yeah, so my final words to all the Geek Squads out there, to especially the ladies, if you are interested in being a mentor, please download the app and become a mentor and help the next generation of geeks.
So the app is the Power to Girls app.
So the app is called My Power. It's available on Android and iOS.
So download the My Power app.
And it's free.
It's free. So can males mentor or it's only females?
Not yet, but we are exploring a power to boys. So
cool.
We'll definitely reach out to the geeks, the male geeks as well.
We are here for you.
See how the part of the boys was just a bit sublime and the part of the girls was high pitched.
Yes, very power to girls.
Okay, so for us at Impuntu, we are offering like special packages for women in entrepreneurship who are looking at digitizing their businesses. So reach out to us anytime. You get a special discount, sometimes even for free, depending on what you are into. So yeah, please reach out to us, Impuntu Technologies.
Well, an example of some of the applications or services.
So example with the ERPs, we are last year we were able to reach out to about, if I'm not mistaken, just about 3,000 women businesses. Most of the time, there are some of them that are really out there that are doing well and they are able to pay for it, etc. There are others as well that are not too tech savvy, so they're not too enthused about the investment in it, and we do it for free. We even offer people to support them with their data entries, etc. Because I'm a woman co-founder, so it's a bit easier for me to do that as well. So please, just feel free to reach us on phone or come to our website or just download the Kedeba app for free as well, and then let's know how we can help you.
Yeah, we did a topic on ERP. So if you don't know what ERPs is, just go and Google #Joy Geek Squad at ERP. You find the episode, listen to it, and you learn about what ERP is. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to find it. So, Janat, what's your final word?
All right. Thank you for the opportunity once again. Everybody listening can visit our social media pages and, of course, our website at onehivegana.org. and One Hive Ghana on all social media pages. We have quite a number of programs running that we are currently running, digital skills training, and also we'll be opening application for our Basima Business Challenge on the 2nd of April. So all startups, female-led startups who are interested in getting seed funding for their businesses can as well apply if the application is open. So on this note, I just want to encourage women and girls out there that, as I said earlier, the future is female. And at the same time, the future is technology. So let's take the time to fully utilize the limited resources and available opportunities to build our capacity. It doesn't necessarily have to be in engineering, as Aisha and other speakers said, but even how to utilize social media to your benefit, because there are a lot of information on social media now. So instead of going there just for fun, why don't you utilize it for your gains, build your career, get more information to build yourself. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Janat. And One Hive is WANHIVE, right?
Yes, please.
Exactly. I'm sure some people thought it was one as in ONE. So thanks for that clarification. Thank you very much once again, ladies. And Geek Squad was brought to you by MTN. MTN everywhere you go. If you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, you need data bundles that don't expire, and it's all on MTN. So I'm handing over straight to the stadium with Gary and
hi, Spiky and ladies.
Hi, Gary.
I enjoyed the show as usual. It's what Impunto Technologies, right?
Impunto, it's fancy.
The
Akan will be Impunto.
No, the Ashanti.
Okay, you're right.
Fancy is Akan. So
yeah.
Okay.
So,
wonderful. And you say you're giving freebies to women who are coming for ERPs and stuff, right?
Yes.
I have a couple of people now. I'm saying,
yeah.
Well, you can pay for them.
I hope
you say?
I hope it's not an umbrella women's committee.
Yeah. So we'll find more women for you.